watching the station covering all of the DMV. DC News Now continues.
Welcome back to DC News Now. Day 2 of a court hearing for the Maryland native accused of killing a UnitedHealthcare CEO. Luigi Mangione's defense team hoping to get some crucial evidence from being shown in a state murder trial.
And the officer who responded to the tip at that Pennsylvania McDonald's before Mangione's arrest testifying. Reporter Anthony DiLorenzo has the latest from outside the courthouse in Manhattan.
Altoona police officer Joe Detwilder testified Tuesday. He reluctantly responded to a tip at the local McDonald's December 9, 2024. Skeptical the Manhattan CEO manhunt would ever end in his sleepy Pennsylvania town. Until he walked in and saw Luigi Mangione sitting alone at a table on his computer eating breakfast. Immediately, Detwilder said, he became suspicious of the man wearing 3 coats, a winter hat, and surgical mask. Body camera video of the interaction played out in court for the first time. Detwilder said, "You seem nervous," and asked if he'd been to New York lately. Mangione shook his head no. Upon being handed a New Jersey ID, asked, "Are you from Jersey or somewhere else?" Mangione said he was currently homeless, but from the DMV. The fake ID, allegedly used in New York City, had the name Mark Rosario. Minutes later, Detwilder is heard telling his supervisor, "I'm 100% sure it's him. I've been seeing all the pictures from the news. Listen, he's nervous as hell. I asked if he'd been to New York lately, and he'd gone quiet."
When you're not free to go when you're under arrest, Miranda kicks in, end of story.
The arrest of the 27-year-old is under scrutiny by his defense team, prompting a week-long hearing at Manhattan Criminal Court. NYPD Chief of Department John Schell helped spearhead the manhunt. He's since retired. Schell believes as soon as Officer Detwilder knew it was the suspect, he should have read Mangione his rights instead of waiting 20 minutes.
Once he establishes it's him in his mind, he's at probable cause. All questions cease. That's it.
The final point of contention, the search of Mangione's backpack, which was done first by officers without a warrant, cops say for safety reasons. In it, a gun, silencer, and notebook.
The arrest is inside. They bring him outside. They search the bag to make sure what's in that bag before they put it in their car. That's perfectly legal.
All right, for more insight into this case, we turn to attorney Tom Maronick, who has a personal relationship with the Mangione family.
Yeah, and Tom, you're a criminal defense attorney, but for full disclosure, are you providing any counsel to the family?
No, I'm not. I hosted a radio show on a station that they owned. I was not very close with them, but at the same time, obviously, I did host a show on their station, so okay. That's the connection.
I just wanted to make sure. Now, this hearing is key as they could throw out some critical evidence, but are there other ways for prosecutors to introduce the items that police seized that we just heard in that story from his backpack during his arrest, including a handgun and a notebook, both of which prosecutors say could link Mangione to the murder?
I think what they're going to say is that it flowed from what would have been a lawful arrest regardless. And by that, I mean that they would have discovered this regardless, whatever happened, whatever questions were answered. What I have heard, and what I do think is a viable concern, is the lack of Miranda rights, because that is extremely clear that if you are confined, if you are in a situation where you cannot leave, that's when Miranda does kick in. And I don't think there's any question that that did not occur in this case.
So, Tom, how likely is it then the judge will bar prosecutors from introducing any of that testimony from the 20-minute statement that Luigi Mangione made there in the McDonald's? And what could it mean for the defense team?
I think that the judge will consider whether, in fact, he had any ability to leave at that point, or whether, in fact, he was in a situation where he was not allowed to leave. And it was a situation where it was a custodial interview. That's the standard the judge is going to look at. You know, could he have gotten up at any time? Could he have run away if he wanted to? And I think the answer is going to be no. So how likely is it? I think it's surprisingly likely that a judge will bar at least the statements made.
Would that make a critical error then and cause the case to have to be very problematic for the prosecutors?
I don't think it will ultimately kill their case, but I think it will definitely be a hurdle they'll have to overcome. Because keep in mind, some of the statements made are incriminating. Why would he give a false name? Why would he say some of the things he did that seemed to be misleading? So it's something that I think they really would like to get in, but absent being able to do so with a lawful basis, I think that they're going to have a very, very hard time making that connection. And they're just going to have to say they found the bag through the course of investigation, something like that.
Yeah, just a really interesting insight here from Tom Maronick, a criminal defense attorney and legal expert. Tom, really appreciate you spending a few minutes and lending your expertise. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anytime you guys need me, don't hesitate to call.
You bet. Thank you. We will.